Hi, Eric Auger, your real estate consultant for life here. And I'm recording this brief video because I wanted to share with you a great story, and that is Christine's story. We met Christine about 3 months ago, and she was introduced to us by her sister, who trusts and respects us when it comes to real estate. So we contacted Christine and scheduled an initial consultation. When we sat down with her, we took the time to ask a lot of questions because, as you know, discovering what's important to you is very important to us. And we discovered something very important, and that was that to Anne, buying a home meant a whole lot more than just buying a home. Here is what happened. As we were asking questions, we found out that Anne's parents throughout the years had made a lot of sacrifices. They had invested a lot of time in her to make sure that she can flourish as the great person that she is today. And for lack of a better word, she always felt that she had sort of a debt to them. And buying a home for her parents was her way to say thank you for all the years that they had invested in her. Now, when we discovered that, needless to say, we were completely full on board with her. So one of the challenges that we encountered is that she was pretty specific on exactly on what she wanted for a home. She had some very detailed criteria. So what we did is we spent the time to investigate the MLS day in and day out, to research houses, look at pictures, verify that the features matched what she's looking for, and sometimes even preview houses before we contact her. Within about 2 weeks, we did find that great home for her. It had the number of bedrooms, it was the right size, it had the big driveway that she wanted, it was in the location she was looking for. So we wrote a contract, negotiated on her behalf, and got into contract with the seller. She was very excited. Now, when we wrote that contract, we took the time to tell her a little bit about what's going on with appraisals in this market. It is quite frequent to have appraisals that actually come in under what the negotiated price is. And it has a lot to do with the state of the market and the fact that appraisers can be sometimes very conservative. So what we told her ahead of time was that an appraisal can come in low. And if that happens, she has 3 options. Number 1, she can just make up the difference in cash. Number 2, she can renegotiate the price with the seller. And then number 3, she can just cancel out of the contract and get her earnest money deposit back. So when it came that time, the appraisal came in short. So she was not panicked at all. She was actually quite confident in what to do. So we went back to the seller and tried to negotiate, and the seller was kind of hard to deal with and wouldn't budge. Now, something that's very important for you to know is that we were just a few days away from April 30th, which was the date when the tax credit would expire. After negotiating, we finally came to an agreement where the buyer and the seller would split the difference, and the buyer would have to come up with $5,000 cash additional to close the transaction. Now, in most cases, we would have recommended that she finds another house. However, here's what would have happened if that's what she had done. Because we were so close to April 30th, she would have missed out on the tax credits, which means she wouldn't have gotten any money back on her taxes. Well, it turns out that if she did move forward and make up the difference in cash, she would be on time for the tax credit and get the money that came out of her pocket back under the form of a tax credit. Now, the benefit of doing that is that if we had canceled, she would have been back to the drawing board. We would have to look again for the perfect house, which is not easy to find, and she wouldn't have saved any money. It would have basically been a break-even for her. So we recommended that she makes up the difference in cash, which she did. Now, she has moved in our house. She's extremely happy. Her parents are ecstatic. And if she was here today, she'd probably tell you that what she enjoyed the most about her interaction with us is that we were in constant contact with her, guiding her, providing advice, and figuring out what the best option would be for her. So this is her story. I hope you enjoyed it, and just know that we would be happy to do the same for any of your friends, coworkers, or even neighbors that you feel comfortable introducing to us. Built a reputation on giving information with clear interpretation, insight that protects, inspiration that encourages, judgment rooted in experience, meaning behind each decision, relationships with service, and conscious guidance based on integrity. So the next time you're in a conversation with a friend, a family member, a neighbor, or a coworker, and they mention that they need help, or you notice that they need help, feel comfortable knowing that when you introduce them to me, you're introducing them to me because they will be delighted you did. And to introduce someone you care about, simply take out your cell phone, look up my number, and call me so that we can discuss how you can introduce them to me. Thank you.